Hey guys, this is Eileen from Rebel Financial. Normally I am behind the scenes working the live broadcast, and this week I'm actually going to be in front of the camera, so it's a new face. Tony and Phil let me have the reins this week, so you get to know a little bit about a subject matter that's very close to my heart. I'm here with Allison Harrison from the Diversity Chamber of Central Ohio, and the reason that I'm hosting is that I'm a member of the LGBTQ community, so we thought it'd be a perfect opportunity for me to get in front of the camera instead of behind it. So thank you so much for joining us today. We greatly appreciate it. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do with what the Diversity Chamber does, but also what you do, and because you're working strictly from a volunteer perspective.
Yeah, so the Diversity Chamber is 2.5 years old. I believe October is going to be 3 years. We're an all-volunteer board. I run my own law practice. It's Allison Harrison Law. We represent businesses, and we do some trademark as well. But the Diversity Chamber is here for Chamber of Commerce for LGBTQIA-owned businesses, allies, as well as we have individual memberships for employees of businesses. We're connected with the National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce and provide diversity certification to LGBT-owned businesses.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome. So then who exactly does, excuse me, who exactly do you help with this organization?
Sure. So most of our members are small to medium-sized businesses. We do have some, I believe we have some members that are Fortune 500 as well.
Oh, wow.
The connection there is if they are either a member of our chamber or the national organization. The national organization helps us certify businesses, so you can know that this business is 51% LGBTQIA owned. Mm-hmm. So when bigger companies, state governments are looking for diverse suppliers, they can turn to either us or NGLCC and get a list of who meets what they're looking for, whether it's a cleaning company or a caterer or an accounting firm. They can have mm-hmm. access to that.
Because yes, your law firm is a member as well.
That's right. Yeah, I was certified last January as LGBT business.
Oh, that's perfect then. So then, what kind of are the issues that are specific to, I guess, that you guys deal with the Diversity Chamber that's specific to Central Ohio and the LGBTQIA community?
Sure. So we try and bring together. If you're in Central Ohio and you're in the LGBT community, you know there's a ton of organizations that are there to support. With the Diversity Chamber, we try and bring those different organizations in to see how they can benefit our members. Last night we had our networking event. It's usually on Wednesday. We had it on Thursday. We brought in Equality Ohio. They just kind of gave us an update on statewide policies and different resources that they had available to individuals, but mostly businesses, and they were talking about getting different legislation passed and what you can do at the local level with your towns to help equality.
Mm-hmm. So I think there is you mentioned a Senate Bill 111 is?
Yeah, so Equality Ohio has worked with our legislatures, and I cannot remember the woman who introduced the bill. She's a senator. But it's to provide protections in public accommodations and housing and employment, the protections that the other classifications get, race, sex, age, those type of things, including sexual orientation, and I think gender identity in that as well.
Okay. That's all. That's definitely, I mean, I saw earlier that I think in 2015 Columbus was rated like one of the top 15 like gayest cities in the United States.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So I think the percentage in Columbus is like 4.6 something or was like 4.6 or 4.3.
Okay, I believe it.
4.3.
All right.
I have notes. So that obviously there's a lot of us here, so it seems like 4.3 is a small number, but when you actually think about it, that's thousands of people in Central Ohio in particular.
But those are just the ones that are counted.
Exactly,
that are open enough to be counted. There's an initiative with, oh gosh, I know I'm going to say, I think it's United Way. They're doing an initiative to self-identify how many LGBTQIA there actually are in the state of Ohio. Maybe it's Columbus, can't remember, because they think that it's underrepresented, and I think it is too. So if you can provide more resources if you know how many people fit what you're trying to help. And so I'm pretty sure it's United Way is doing that.
I think they do have a specific like Pride division branch of their organization that works strictly with that. Okay, so then let's talk a little bit about the membership parts of what you guys do. Are there certain like qualifications that you have to meet?
So just to be a member, no. We have two categories of membership. One is business can be a member, or an individual can be a member. And don't quote me on it. I think it's like 179 and 79. It's somewhere around that. Mm-hmm. That's just to be a member. So if you're not an LGBT on business, but you support it, you're an ally. You're that A in the LGBTQIA. Mm-hmm. You can become a member, and we'd love you to be a member. If you want to be certified at the national level, you do have to be 51% LGBTQIA owned, or not A, LGBTQ.
Yeah.
Yes. Owned. But anyone can be a member. We certainly encourage people to become members. The more we have as a membership base, the more we can do. And if anyone out there is interested and is like, I have a great idea, we could do something, we're always open to it. Because we are a volunteer board, we can only do what our board has the capacity to do, and we want to do more. We just need help.
Mm-hmm. So do you have struggles as a business owner dealing with the volunteer perspective too, or trouble balancing?
I was going to say yes and no. Like, it definitely takes away a little bit from my practice because I'm spending time on this, but I love spending time on this. So it's just making sure I have the right balance. It took me a little bit of time because I've only been in this role since January, but I think I kind of have it down pat where I can carve out so much of the week to dedicate to the diversity chamber and then focus the rest of my time on my firm.
So how did you come to take over? Because you weren't the founder, but you're the current president. So how did
So the prior president was our founder, Curtis Davis, and he had been running it for 2 years. And it's not a thankless position, but you're doing a lot of work. Mm-hmm. And so he just needed a break. So we said, okay, good, that we're on for our 2-year cycle to have elections. Mm-hmm. Threw names in a hat. It worked from the prior board to this board. I run my own business. I have a little bit more freedom to have meetings, come do stuff like this versus some of our other members who don't own their own businesses and don't have quite the ability to come out and do things like this.
So do you, then you host frequent events as well. So you've got a monthly networking, and then you mentioned the event that you had on last night.
Yeah, so we try to, not always successful, try to do a monthly networking event the second Wednesday of every month. Yesterday was an anomaly. It was the second Thursday of the month, not Wednesday, but it's when we could pair with Equality Ohio to go over their updates. And the month before that, we worked with the Central Ohio African American Chamber of Commerce to do Out with Elected Officials. It's our second year for doing it. It brings people from both COAC and the Diversity Chamber together, as well as elected officials. This was our second year, and we had, I want to say, around 80 people. The prior year, we had somewhere between 40 and 50, so we're seeing some traction on that. And we definitely had, I think, more elected officials this year than we had the previous year.
I mean, obviously, like, I feel like Columbus has been in the spotlight, in particular from Nina West being on TV, and even our Columbus Pride had almost, I think it was about 500,000 people were here for Columbus Pride.
Yeah.
So do you account to people taking more, are paying more attention now, or do you think that's always been a thing and now we're just being vocal?
I mean, I think everyone's paying more attention. 15 years ago, you didn't really see LGBTQ in the media. But now you've got, you had Will and Grace, I should say. That was about the only one that I can recall. But, you've had, since then, you've had the L Word. You're going to have the L Word reboot. You've got Will and Grace. Again, you've got Pose that's covering the trans community, which is amazing.
I do love that show.
Yeah, I just started watching it. It's fantastic. And so I think, and we've got Megan Rapinoe. God bless her. I love her. And all of the U.S. women's team. I just think we're getting more media coverage. And I don't know if that happens organically or if there's, I don't know, a third-party conspiracy, or whatever. I mean, I don't know how that happens. I can't speak to that. But I think it's awesome to see because I think for the for my generation, you kind of knew it was okay to be out, like it was, but like in certain places, right? And I think we're breaking that down. So like now it can be everywhere, at least in the U.S. Certainly there's some countries where it's not safe, but you know, the more we talk about it, the more people get to know us.
Exactly.
I think that's the biggest thing. Is I've had some clients of mine who can be conservative, and they're like, "Oh, I just have never met a gay person." Okay, hi. I'm here.
You
and
probably have.
Yeah, you
Fun
probably have, and you didn't know it, or you know, you know me. I think you like me, and you seem to like my wife. So like, once you put a face to it, I think it's much easier for people to be like, "Oh, it's not so bad," or "Oh, it just means that like." You love her? Like, I don't know if it's just you put a face to it. It's something where if it's a concept, it's very easy to, I think, discriminate against. But once you put a face to it, it's much harder.
Yeah.
It's like, in an email, you may say things that you would never say over the telephone.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't have the same sort of...
Oh, definitely. Yeah. That's, I mean, lucky here that we've... I'm personally lucky to have such a very accepting community of not only friends, family, but also the workplace as well. So... but not everybody has those, I guess, those luxuries. I don't want to call it that. But
yeah, but that's what we're hoping with Senate Bill 111, to be able to provide at least those protections. And I think once you have the legal protections, then you can build a culture. Because even if you legally can't be fired, you can certainly maybe not feel comfortable. And we don't want that. So one step at a time, we want to build a culture as well. And I think Equality Ohio, Stonewall, Family Pride Network, Kaleidoscope, all of those organizations, and I've probably missed a few, are definitely
there's a bunch.
I know, are definitely helping to build that grassroots like culture.
Oh yeah,
and bring it to other places. So like if there's a business out there that's like, oh, I need D&I training, I have no idea, but like I want to, reach out to us or reach out to Equality Ohio or Stonewall, or I think every organization provides some D&I training that they'll come into a business if they just need help. And I don't know that it's free, but I don't know that it's terribly expensive either.
I would hope not. To be able to get the resources to broaden that would, I think, be awesome. So let's take just a couple minutes and go through your website.
Sure.
So Phil and JV are actually working behind the scenes today, so they're the ones pressing all the buttons. So it's not me. So this is the Diversity Chamber of Central Ohio website, which is diversitycolumbus.org, and you'll be seeing that that website address on the bottom of your screen. We'll also be linking and tagging and all that fun stuff, so keep an eye out for that. So let's just go through, I guess, your homepage. We talked a lot about Equality Ohio and the free legal clinic, which I think is awesome, talking about those resources.
Yeah, so the free legal clinic for Equality Ohio launched this year. We just got the update last night, so I hope it's right. I think they have 4 full-time attorneys.
Oh.
Maybe it's even 5, and they're at capacity. So it's things from gender marker changes, name changes, to housing discrimination, I think. I'm not an Equality Ohio employee, so don't crucify me if that's wrong. But yeah, so that's what they do. They're looking for any volunteer attorneys. It's because it's free if you're within 300% of the poverty limit. I'm not sure what the right term is. But if it's not, they have a network of attorneys to refer you to if you're looking for something and you don't qualify for the free services.
Okay, so then we'll keep... Hello.
Oh yeah, sorry. We prompt you to join, so please join.
Yes, please join the newsletter. So then you do have a bunch of sponsors here, which I think are awesome. It is True Media Group based in Columbus?
Yeah, so True Media Group's actually owned by Curtis Davis, our founder.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Makes it convenient. So then these are just brief things of learning about who you guys are, the certification process to be a part of the LGBTE certification.
Yeah, that's the certified LGBT business.
How many of those do we have in Columbus right now?
Ooh, I don't know off the top of my head. So we have somewhere around 65, 70 members. We slowly are growing, and I fail to get a number count. And I think we've got, I want to say 10 to 15 certified businesses, or those at least in the pipeline. The certification process can just take a while, but I think it's worthwhile, and it's also one of the cheapest compared to being like NABO just women certified. That's much more expensive, and I haven't gotten the numbers on COAX certification, but I believe it's more expensive. So if you are a lesbian who is African American, you could theoretically be certified with all three. But ours is relatively inexpensive.
Okay. So I know especially with listing as an LGBTQ friendly business, I know the lavender listings from Stonewall Columbus is a good resource to check out all those options too. But if you're on this site in particular, well, I can just skip on over to. Do you want to talk about the programs? Because you mentioned that you are looking for a little bit of help with your ERG Council.
Yeah, absolutely. So the last 2 years we've had an ERG Council. I think it was a quarterly meeting with the ERG groups in Columbus, which is an employee resource group. And we had the individual who ran it. He moved to Florida for a job, so we're looking for someone to help us run the ERG group. It was a great space for those groups to share ideas, share resources. And I know on one of them we brought in, I think it was Equality Ohio, to just provide some of their insight into training. So it was nice that we could have that type of collaboration. But that has kind of been on pause because we don't have the resources right now to keep it going. So if anyone out there has an interest in it, please let us know. I am not a big business person, so employee resource groups are completely foreign to me.
Well, you got a fantastic list, and a lot of these are Columbus-based anyway, so, I mean, I'm familiar with Cardinal Health from being in Dublin, but Grange Insurance, we've talked about. Huntington Bank's a big one.
Yeah, we had a lot of traction with this. Yeah, it was a great group. I want to say the gentleman who was helping us was with United Way. He had switched jobs, but I think it's United Way. But it was a great group and well attended. So I'd love to bring it back. Just need some help.
Are there general volunteer opportunities? How do you get involved with you guys?
One, if you're a member, then you want to do something, email us. If you're not, and you want to do something, become a member, and then let us know what you want to do. We're always looking for volunteers to help out because we are a volunteer-driven organization. So if there is something that you're this would be a great opportunity for LGBT-owned businesses or employees to be at, let us know. It may not be one of our events, but we may be able to share it. Or we may be able to collaborate and have it as a joint event like we have done with Equality Ohio and with COAC.
Oh, that's perfect. So then we can circle back around going through the entirety of the website. We talked about some of your membership levels, and we were a little iffy on some of the prices.
Yes, I was right. Look at it. It is $79 and $179.
So you can see all the different... Perfect, then.
Yeah.
You can see all the different levels that we've got here. And then there are obviously certain benefits that come with different levels. You've got advisory council that's coming soon. Do you have a lot? I'm actually impressed with all the different options that you have, including the nonprofit, which is that unique to you guys?
It's more to get into this nonprofit world. I don't know that that's as unique because I think a lot of times there's collaborations. We'll have your members be our members and vice versa, and it's kind of like a break even. You don't pay, we don't pay kind of thing. But it's usually when we work together with a group. I don't think that we offer that to everyone, but and we certainly want nonprofits to be part of it because they help provide information and resources and everything to our members and employees. So
right.
It's helpful.
Okay, so I mean, there's tons of. Never find the mouse. Sorry, guys.
There's also I was gonna say there's also the membership directory
which is a huge list. I was impressed.
Yeah, so if you're looking for some sort of service and you want to support an LGBT business, this is kind of our running list of members of the organization or the chamber. So check it out. I know that we have a dentist, a promotional company, lawyers galore, a mortgage broker. I'm sure there's more. Those are the ones I can think of or saw quickly as you were scrolling.
Oh yeah, so. So that's really. How often do you get applications for new businesses to join? It's grown so much in just the 2 years that you guys have been.
So it's been about one every 2 weeks.
Oh wow!
So yeah,
pretty good frequency then.
Yeah, it's pretty. I would love to see more than that, but I mean, they could do more. But 1 every 2 weeks is really good. it's the only caveat I will say is you submit the application and then you'll subsequently get an invoice. It's a manual process, so it's not instantaneous. But we also want to make sure that it's not someone who would be wildly opposed to the idea of diversity and inclusion.
All right, so then we'll get started on wrapping up. So what's the best way to contact you guys? So we've been flashing the information at the bottom of the screen, but then you guys are locally available, obviously, and can reach out. We've been tagging all of the different social media, so you can hit them up through there as well. But is this just a good place for them to reach out, ask questions?
Yeah, so our website has a contact us. It's an easy form if you want to do it that way. You can also, I think it's info@diversitycolumbus.org. It goes to, I think, all of the executive board, so one of us will respond. So it's info@diversitycolumbus.org. I always want to flip them. So, yeah, those are the best ways to get hold.
Right, well, that's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us again
Thank
today.
you for having me.
I appreciate it. Absolutely. So we've got some awesome guests coming up the next couple weeks, and you've heard Tony and Phil talk about it, but please, please, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. We do have a 360 video, so you can kind of get the whole experience of being in this room with us. We highly recommend that you subscribe to that as well. And of course, we're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. So please like and subscribe, follow, make sure that you get all this awesome information.
Can I do one last plug?
Yes, of course, by all means.
Totally forgot our event next month. We just confirmed is at River and Rich in Franklinton.
Awesome.
It is the second Wednesday from 6 to 8.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Thank you.
Well, yeah. All right. Well, again, thank you so much for having us on. Thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. So if you have any specific questions about LGBTQIA community.
It's a mouthful.
And then we're always adding letters too, which is important for sure, but it's always a mouthful.
Yes, it is.
All right, well, thank you again so much, guys, and we'll see you next week.